7 p.m. Public notice of this meeting was given to the board members and associates in a notice dated January 8th, 2026. Adequate and electronic notice of this public meeting has been provided, specifying the time, place, and manner in which this meeting is being conducted. It was advertised in the Courier Post, posted on all schools, the administrative office, the municipal buildings, the library, and the Bub Dougal Center, Edgewood Acres, Elmtown, and the Winslow Township Post Office. And our mission statement reads, Mr. Shaw.
The mission of the Winslow Township School District, a large, diverse, and growing community, is to educate all students to become independent, lifelong learners, critical thinkers, and caring and confident members of their community. The district, in partnership with the community and in a climate of cooperation and mutual respect, will provide an academic environment which values excellence and diversity, encourages students to strive for personal excellence, and assists them in acquiring the knowledge, skills, and attitudes necessary to contribute positively to a rapidly changing world.
Roll call.
Mr. Clark.
Here.
Ms. Dredden. Here. Ms. Lloyd.
Present.
Ms. Martin. Present. Mr. Matthews.
Present.
Ms. Nieves. Present. Mr. Shaw.
Present.
Ms. Pitts.
Present.
And Mr. Thomas.
Present.
We have a quorum.
Pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
District goals, Mr. Clark.
2025-2026 district goals. Number 1, student achievement. Continue to implement research-based best practices for delivering instruction and accelerating learning for all students, including all subgroups. This shall include conduct weekly administrative walkthroughs to monitor teaching and learning. Utilize the district diagnostic assessment platform to analyze student data to inform and guide instruction, to monitor and track measurable growth in ELA and mathematics in grades 1 through 9, and to implement creative ways to accelerate student learning by providing additional supports throughout and beyond the school day. Number 2, promote a positive environment for students and staff. Enforce the code of conduct to ensure safety for students and staff and compliance with district policies. Incorporate social emotional learning opportunities for students to celebrate positive behaviors. Develop strategies for students with significant behaviors to reduce the interruption of instructional time, decrease negative actions, and improve school attendance. Number 3, increase stakeholder engagement. Explore and expand innovative opportunities to increase parent communication. Create parent learning opportunities with a focus on how to support their child's learning, and continue to share the accomplishments of Winslow students in all student activities.
Thank you much, Mr. Clark. Before we go to award and presentation, I just like to recognize the dignitaries that are in the office, that are in this building today. We have Ms. Jackie Lee, Committeeman Ward 3. We have Mr. Ray Watkins, Committeeman Ward 3. Got Deputy Mayor Darius Peoples. In here, we got legendary Mr. Roger Brown and legendary Mr. Russell Bates in the audience tonight. Going on to awards and presentation, Mr. Pease, will there be any awards and presentation?
Yes, I'd like to go to the podium for this. Not often that superintendent gets a chance to recognize championships in the school district. It's hard to win, and it's something that is special to a school district and it's special to our young people. And I want to recognize Coach Brown. Coach Brown can come join us, and I want to recognize her and her track team. So we're honored to have Coach Brown here, and we have Coach Bates here, who was instrumental in the track program when he was active in the school district as an employee. So But I just want to read a few things about Coach Brown and her team. Our track teams continue to be the gold standard in track and field. Just this year, there have been several individual champions, new records established, team championships won, and an impressive history-making streak of championships by our girls' track team. Just to give you some of the stats, starting in 2018, correct me if I'm wrong, so 2018, relay champion. Indoor, this is all 2018, indoor sectional champion. Outdoor sectional champion. Indoor state champion and outdoor state champion. So it was a full sweep in track and field in the year 2018. The same thing in 2019, 2020, relay champion, indoor sectional champion, and indoor state champion in 2020. COVID kind of put a little wrinkle in things, and we only have the outdoor sectional championship in 2021. Things started to pick back up in 2022 with a relay championship, indoor sectional championship, 2023 relay championship, outdoor sectional championship, 2024 relay championship, outdoor sectional championship, and outdoor state championship. 2025, another clean sweep with relay championship, indoor championship, outdoor sectional championships, and state championships in 2025. And we're on that same trajectory in 2026 with a relay championship, indoor sectional championship, indoor state championship, and this spring, hopefully another outdoor state championship. On behalf of our school district, your school district, we'd like to recognize Coach Brown, her amazing athletes, and your commitment to excellence, hard work, and the sacrifices you make to make our young people great. We wish that with each victory, every challenge your students had to overcome, and the experiences they've gained by being members of this team, they are given a foundation to continue to do great things in life, on and off the track. We appreciate you for representing us with class, dignity, and sportswomanship. And I just want to say I'm honored to be here as the superintendent to recognize the greatness in this track program. You know, I come in and I get to see a lot of great things, and to be a part of this in the short window that I've been here, I'm truly thankful. So thank you for all that you do.
First, I want to say thank you guys for having us here to recognize our team. Unfortunately, the girls, we leave tomorrow to go to Boston for nationals, so their hair, nails, packing, all the things that girls do. But we want to just say thank you again for bringing us in and recognizing the hard work that they do. This has truly been a historic season. We had one of our sophomores who is now number 3 in the country and is the fastest sophomore runner in the state of New Jersey history. Our 4x4 team took second and made the champions on Sunday, and we are now number 5 in the country in that relay. So a lot of our girls, when we go to New Balance this weekend, are competing for national championships, not just New Jersey, but across the country. So we just want to say thank you.
So next we'll have a presentation from Dr. Mary Lynn Pendleton. And she is a transdisciplinary educator, speaker, and advocate whose work bridges education, health, grief recovery, and social equity. She is the founder and CEO of Your Voice Heard LLC, a federal procurement-ready organization focused on helping school communities, leaders, and workforce systems address grief resulting from trauma, loss, and life transitions. Dr. Pendleton. Or we may want to take the front row so you can view.
great evening. Thank you so much for your time and allowing me to present to you. Just a real quick background on me. I am a Philly girl, born and bred. However, I have a lot of family in New Jersey, spent a lot of time, Ocean City, Cape May County, and family in Violence. So I still spend a good amount of time in New Jersey. I was a school nurse in the Philadelphia School District, and that's when I became aware of the school nurse knew everything, everybody's business. There I discovered everyone was grieving. They were struggling with something. And I ultimately worked in Kensington at elementary school, Elkin, and I'm currently on a grief project there for 10 years. After that, I worked at Olney Charter High School for 2 years as a school nurse, moved to the administrative office, and responsible for health and safety for the early childhood program for over 9,000 3-year-olds and 4-year-olds. And ultimately, I decided to live a life of poverty, give up the job, get my doctorate to prove and research what I knew existed in practice. And so there the journey began, and here I am. And just one of the things that I do. And the definition of grief, a lot of people think about grief as just a response to just death, but it's so much more. Think of it as it's a response. So here's a traumatic event, here's a change, a disaster, moving, a pet dies or runs away, you lose a job, and grief is the lingering response. We learn how to get a job, a house, a car, an education, a food, but we do not learn how to lose things. And that's where individuals struggle. And grief is a normal or natural response to loss of any type. There's a hidden crisis of grief in schools. Now, if we are just talking about death, 90% of children will be affected by the death of a family member before they turn age 18. And then 1.5 million students have been impacted by the COVID-19 pandemic. That was a short 5-6 years ago, and students are still struggling. Not only students, parents are struggling, staff members are struggling. So everyone deals with loss. Let me make sure this is correct. All right, this is not syncing this yet. But anyway, while I was in my doctoral program, oh, thank you, you're awesome. I finished my doctorate at Gwynedd Mercy University in 2020. And during that time, the world shut down. It was horrible. And during that time, I found this research by the American Foundation of Teachers and New York Life Foundation. 2012, Grief in the Classroom. This was a landmark study. And what they found is teachers didn't know how to support students. They wanted training to support students. And also they were afraid to speak with students who've experienced a type of loss. They didn't know what to say, and they didn't want to say something that will cause more pain. Fast forward to 2024, as you can see, over 90% of teachers find that it's a problem in the classroom. It impacts behavior, it impacts learning. They want to learn more about it, and that there needs to be more support in schools. Why grief matters in education. Grief impacts us physically, intellectually, emotionally, socially, and spiritually. So when we're just talking about physically, it increases the cortisol level. That's a stressor. So it can be attributed to chronic illness. It can be attributed, I've seen it working as a school nurse, that students' asthma has been exacerbated because they were grieving and stressed. It can contribute to long-term anxiety and depression. you can see academics go down. They lose concentration. But even as an adult, think of yourself when you experience a loss. Have you had a loss of concentration? You forget where you put things. You're not as productive in the workplace. These are the real challenges for educators that they face. There are policy gaps, there are training deficits, and that was reflected in the research by AFT and the New York Life Foundation, and educator burnout. As I said, everyone is a griever, and your educators and your administrators are grievers, and they need support as well. This is my favorite slide. Because did you know that New Jersey is the only state in the United States that requires mandated grief education, grades 8 to 12? When I found that, I was like, the policy started in 2022. It was signed into legislation by the former governor in 2024. And it is in line with New Jersey learning standards. Powerful. I mean, this says volumes about the education in New Jersey. And honestly, I throw a little shade sometimes when I go to other places that are not in New Jersey. And I say, hey, look at this. And I am also actively engaged with legislators in Pennsylvania because this is the benchmark, and I feel that they should be doing this as well. So what a grief-informed school looks like. There needs to be policy in place to provide a grief-informed school. When I was thoroughly looked through your school district website, because I did do a superintendent practicum when I was at Gwinnett at Mercy. So one of the things that we learned is thoroughly dive into school district websites. And when I tell you, your learning standards and your curriculums are, excellent. The gap that I noticed was that there wasn't anything specific related to grief, which also connects with the New Jersey policy. But with each grade, with each semester, there's physical and mental health. So I celebrate New Jersey schools. Introducing the workshop, what we do to schools. We are evidence-based. We use evidence-based resources and very holistic. As you see, my first degree is in nursing, so I'm a nurse first. And so we have to look at people, look at students, look at communities as a whole, not portions, just academics and just curriculum and grades. We do practical approaches, and we utilize healing activities. And just to let you know, as a grief recovery method specialist, the grief recovery method is evidence-based and globally practiced. And I have engaged with specialists in Ukraine and Mexico, and have even done work in the UK and also in Malaysia. The benefit for educators and community is to transform school culture. As it can be very silent at times. It's to empower your staff. As it was indicated in the landmark research in 2012 with AFT and New York Life Foundation, teachers don't know what to do. They don't know what to say, and they're craving for to learn those skills, and to strengthen community bonds. When there's grief, when there's change, when there's a loss, we need to, and when I say we, not only, I don't want to say you, but we as a society need to have a whole person approach. And the Association of Supervision and Curriculum Development supports the WISC model, the whole school, whole community, whole child model, with the child in the middle and the community surrounding it. All right, I have tech support. And so the success stories and the impact, there are fewer disciplinary problems. As a school nurse, I was instrumental in creating 504 plans and IEPs and integrating strategies for grieving students. Oftentimes, grieving students are assigned to special ed. They're not having problems learning. The problems with learning is not that they don't have the capacity, it's that they can't concentrate and they can't focus. Also improving attendance and improving educator confidence as well. How can you bring this workshop to your district? We meet schools where they are, and we can do in person, we can do virtual, it can be hybrid, whatever the community needs. Now, I will say it as an example, at Elkin Elementary School, there was a facilities problem because of the cold weather. And I was supposed to meet parents face to face in the library. Oh, the library is what got flooded. So at this point, what we're going to do, we'll be doing smaller groups, and I'll be meeting with the parents virtually on a more intimate level so they can be free to speak. And this wraps it up. Join us in transforming schools and school communities, and let your voice be heard.
Thank you, Dr. Pendleton.
You're welcome. No question.
Board, does anyone have any questions for Ms. Pendleton? You got one, Ms. Gold?
Just real quick, so I know from my wife, she's supposed to be working in the urban environment, and she's telling stories of how children, they lost their mother or father at a young age, and sometimes they don't have food and this. Does your program also connect with social services and to children, or does that work?
We meet the school community where it is. So, for example, if there is a social, and I must also say that I'm a member of the African American Chamber of Commerce of New Jersey. And so they very much support me and the work that I do. So if there's a resource, if I'm not familiar with it in New Jersey, they will assist me in connecting with resources. They already connected me with a number of resources already. But also there are other educators that are in New Jersey that I'm connected with, and they also guide me and give me information as well.
Thank you. All right, we're gonna move right along here. Oh, go ahead.
Yes, so thank you for your presentation. The question I have for you is that if you go into the school districts, how do you go about identifying the type of grief, getting the resources out to the parents to get their involvement with the student in the grief to make it an effective program inside the school districts?
Okay, one of the things that we do, I know in Philly, there's a electronic system, it's called Dojo. And so through the electronic system, they are alerted and informed. So any technology that you use, if you use your Facebook page, if you use they use Instagram, that's how we connect with them. Also, when there's a start of school or back to school night or report card conference, I would go out and introduce myself and have a conversation with them. They are also able to go to my website because there's a promotional video on there, and it speaks to all the work that Your Voice Heard does. And there are any number of YouTube videos on there. They can learn about the different types of losses. Grief is grief. It's individual. and there's no specific way that somebody grieves. So if somebody's brother died, they're not going to, if there are other siblings, there's a unique relationship. So there's not going to be the same response to that particular loss. Did that answer your question?
Kinda. So
Okay.
once you get into the school though,
Once I'm
and you're in the school, then how do we identify the kids that you can help? Like, is there a program that you have, or is it like a volunteer, like, is it a resource thing where the school lets parents know this is what we have, this is what we offer, and if you're experiencing this, your child is experiencing this, this is, you can tap in educators and so on and so on.
Okay, so for clarification, we educate. So primarily, we're educating the adults
Okay.
to learn how to support the children.
Okay.
And so it needs to start at this level, because as adults, we don't learn how to navigate grief. And in studies, like in Kaiser, the primary person that children learn from are the parents. The second person, according to your Larry, is the teachers. So they mimic and they learn from us. And so when we learn appropriate skills to navigate grief and loss, we can communicate that and model that for the children.
I have one more question.
Yes.
So the schools that you have worked with, I saw on your slide is something, the discipline has improved. Is that like, so statistically speaking, how soon or how fast does that work where the behavioral changes start happening in the schools and it's shown as effective?
Okay, so I can give, for example, a lived experience. When I was at Elkin, and I was a grief recovery method specialist there. And there was a student, and he was constantly engaging with the discipline office with climate. He had a significant loss. His mother was murdered. And what you can measure is, once you start engaging with them, it's numerical. How many times are they in the nurse's office? How many times are they in the discipline office? That information is already in the system. So when the teachers are educated and they're more informed, instead of saying, oh, this child is a problem, they're grieving and they know what to say. But even as myself, as a nurse, I knew what to say to the student, and those visits mitigated, and that child, their performance improved in math, their attendance and their grades improved.
Wow.
And even in the high school as well. Students were having anxiety and panic attacks, and we had to run down. School was huge, with a wheelchair to go and get the students and bring them up to the health room. But with my high schoolers, once I started having conversations with them and educating them, they can identify their emotions, what was going on. So they could either send a signal to the teacher and felt that they either needed to see the counselor, the school psychologist, or come to the health room. And that particular students, and a couple of them were in that type of situation, those incidents decreased. And at that school, that was Dr. Jose LeBron at Omni Charter High School.
Thank you very much.
Yes.
Thank you.
All right, moving right along, we're going on to the minutes. I'm looking for, is there a correspondence here, Mr. Pease, at all, that we know of, Ms. Boyle?
No.
No correspondence. Moving on to the minutes, I'm looking for a motion to approve the following minutes from the Board of Education. The regular meeting minutes of Wednesday, February 25th, 2026, open session, and the regular meetings from Wednesday, February 25, 2026, a closed session. Can I get a motion?
I move to approve the following meeting minutes of the Board of Education for Wednesday, February 25th, 2026, open and closed session.
Can I get a second?
Second, Matthews.
Any questions, comments? Roll call.
Mr. Clark,
Yes.
Ms. Dredden,
Yes.
Ms. Claude,
Abstain.
thank you. Ms. Martin? Yes. Mr. Matthews?
Yes.
Ms. Nieves?
Yes.
Mr. Shaw?
Yes.
Ms. Pitts?
Yes.
And Mr. Todd?
Yes,
The motion has carried.
thank you. Moving now to our board committee report. Is there a student representative this evening? Okay, going to our athletics and arts committee. Ms. Claude, we have anything?
Yes, I do. I have a couple things to report. Thanks to, our track coach, giving us a, update on her team and her players for the track team. I wish them a lot of success in their Boston travel, and their success in the nationals. I do want to point out too, Nyla Williams, she actually was a pole vaulter. She, was Group 3 national champion, jumping at 10 feet 6 inches. We also have girls wrestler Shyla Fleetwood. She's the champion of the 38 pound Central Regional Golden Eagle Raffle. And she is currently ranked number 1 in South Jersey for the 138 pounders. We have a young man, TJ Maddox, who just went to Rutgers University this past weekend with H&G Sports Consultants, and just earned himself a full scholarship from Winslow Township High School. I would like to send out a congratulations to him for that as well. And our youth department, our fourth graders with the Winslow Township Basketball Association won the South Jersey Boys Championship against Medford 42-25. Girls track team, we already said that, is going to the nationals. The readathon, and this is what's going on inside the schools as well. The readathon at the elementary schools was a great success. I had the wonderful experience of going to school 3 and reading to the classroom first graders. They were totally engaged, and they love it when people come and read stories to them and wanted me to keep reading and reading and reading. And I was like, oh boy, and they love to give out hugs. So it was a wonderful experience for me. Also, I went to the School 3's Black History program. Oh my goodness, if you didn't go, you missed a treat. And if you can go on the websites and just look up, I think School 2 is about to have one on March the 16th, if I'm correct. Check out their program. When you go, you'll just get such treasures from those young kids, and the excitement that they have reading about the different people from our history. Also, we have the Chicago play coming up next week. Make sure you get your tickets and come see Chicago the 23rd, right?
24.
26, 27,
26, 27, 28.
All right, thank you. 26th, 27th, and 28th. I've been reporting it out. Tell the community members to come out. We have great theater department. They put on stellar performances. Some of the actresses and actors actually go on to Broadway and to the big screen. So if you want to see what we're producing out of Winslow Township, we're not just producing athletes, we're producing kids in the academic, the athletic department, the theater department, and the TV production. And that concludes my report for the athletic and theater department.
Any questions for Ms. Claude? Fine report there, Ms. Claude. Really appreciate it. Moving on to the Citizens Advisory Committee. Ms. Martin, anything from the Citizens Advisory Committee?
Yes, the Citizen Advisory Committee had their meeting on March 5th, 2026. Under old business, a recommendation update, the CAC's recommendation to celebrate Winslow Township's anniversary in the schools was briefly discussed, hoping that our recommendation will be carried out again for the next school year when there is more time to plan for it. Student Advisory Committee discussion and final recommendation prepared for submission to the board at their next meeting. Recommendation to include formation of a Student Advisory Committee to include student leaders from grade 6 through high school who would meet with district administration regularly. Recommendation number 1 is listed at the end of our minutes. Town halls, chat with board members, and parental involvement. Further discussion was held on this topic. Suggestions included ways to get more direct parent access to board members outside of the regular board meeting. Parent Square was another way suggested to improve parent involvement and access to information. Some parents on the CAC said their respective schools did not announce its availability. School orientation for the beginning of the year. This item was on the agenda, was tabled, and will be included in next month's agenda. New business, safety issue concerning busing. Unloading students at the beginning of the school day was discussed with many ideas presented by committee members, including police officers present to direct traffic, changing the location layout for loading, township collaboration on solutions. The April meeting will be April 9th, 2026 at 7 p.m. in the administration building. The meeting was adjourned at 7:45 p.m. Recommendation number 1, to increase student leadership opportunities for our students. The CAC recommends that a student advisory group be formed, including representatives from grade 6 through the high school. This group would meet regularly with district administration. Recommendation number 2. Recommendation is being made by the CAC for the board to make recommendations to create continuity between the schools regarding communication and follow through on accountability. That concludes my report.
Any questions for Ms. Martin? Outstanding report there, Ms. Martin. Now we're going on to the Education Committee. Ms. Nuevas, do we have anything out of Education Committee?
Yes, we met February 25th from 6 to 7 p.m. The major topic of discussion was tutoring. We discussed the types of tutoring that we offer. There's varsity tutoring, which is an online live tutoring session that is done during school hours. And it should be noted that this service is also available to anyone in the district. If you go on your individual school's digital backpacks, you'll find information on that, and that's tutoring that anybody can utilize. It's live tutoring instruction with a teacher, and it's one-to-one in small groups, I believe. So that's that. There's also high dosage and prep tutoring offered by staff during their prep periods and after school tutoring. The current enrollment in tutoring by school, school 1, we have 44 in the varsity tutoring, 0 in high dosage, 0 in after school. School 2, we have 0 in varsity, 19 in high dosage, 22 in after school. School 3, we have 61 in varsity, 22 in high dosage, and 0 in after school. School 4, we have 0 in varsity, 20 in high dosage, and 0 in the after school. School 5, we have 33 in varsity, 7 in high dosage, and 100 in the after school program. School 6, we have 0 in varsity, 6 in high dosage, and 29 in after school. At the middle school, we have 0 in varsity, 0 in high dosage, but 100 after school. In the high school, there are 162 in varsity, 0 in high dosage, 15 in after school. It was noted that we did offer it to 300 students at the high school level who identified as career and technical training track. And in our non-public schools, those who are placed elsewhere, we have 17 in varsity as well. The criteria for selection and tutoring is teacher recommendation, classroom iReady scores, NJSLA performance, and it is noted that parents are always welcome to ask for these services. A good time is during your IEP 504 meetings, or always bring that concern up to your student's teacher as well. And we also offer tutoring to our Title III students, for our multilingual family as well. There are challenges noted with after-school tutoring, and at one point we also had before-school tutoring as well. It's getting the students to come in, transportation issues, and parents declining services as well. So that was some of the things noticed. In measuring efficacy of the tutoring, it is dependent upon the students being targeted for additional support. I apologize, Ms. Clements, if I butcher your color-coded system. But there is a green, a light green, an orange, and a red, and based on what we're looking to improve, whether that's NJSLA scores, iReady scores, and obviously the level of tutoring, we might see a student who's in light green perform significantly higher because they just needed a little bit of a push, and we might not see the big gains in our orange and red because of the level of support that they need. So it's kind of hard to give you an exact percentage on that. And that concludes my report, and we will be meeting prior to our next board meeting in 2 weeks.
Absolutely phenomenal. Any questions for Mr. Weber that's coming out of that education committee?
Yes, I have a question.
Go for it.
Regarding the tutoring program that we have, did you find out do you know if have we increased the number of students that are now participating in our tutoring program versus last year and the year before?
No, but we can take a look at those numbers.
Okay. All right, thank you.
Any more questions? Thank you. What a phenomenal report. We're now going on to our marketing committee. Ms. Pitts, what you got for
Mr.
me?
President, our marketing committee will have its March meeting on Thursday, March the 26th.
Thank you so much. Going on to our negotiation. Any comments you want to make, Mr. Shaw, out of negotiation?
Not at this time.
All right, keep up the good work. Operation committees, do we have anything coming out of the operation committee?
Yes, Mr. President. Ms. Boyle will read the minutes.
Yes, the Operations Committee met on Tuesday, March 3rd, 2026 at 5:30. In attendance were Ms. Dredden, Mr. Matthews, Ms. Chico, and myself. We discussed the current status of the capital projects and other projects that EI is handling. The HVAC upgrades to schools 5 and 6. They have been awarded to Alaska Mechanical. It's moving along, progressing nicely. Submittals have been sent to the architect for review and approval, and we've also made color selections for the unit vents. Upgrades to the serving lines at the high school cafeteria through Joseph Coretta Builders. That project is also moving along. I think they're coming in the evenings, and I haven't heard any complaints out of food service, so they're cleaning up behind themselves. Right, Mr. Wall?
Yes.
So that project's moving along nicely as well. The construction of the pole barn, I did get it at the high school. I did get a response from Mr. Wozni the night of the meeting, and he was exploring downsizing the project. He also suggested that we remove some of the features like the insulation and the sheeting, omit some of the other features so that we can get the price down within our budget. I have had a conversation with Mr. Pease, and we'd like to speak to Mr. Wozni together so we can get an idea of what would be acceptable. Land is submitting the bid for the high school HVAC project to the Office of the State Comptroller for approval. Once we get that approval, we can put that project out to bid. The replacement of the marquees for the middle school and high school, we're waiting for it to be scheduled. They do have their approvals, and as soon as we get a date, since the ground is cooperating with us, we'll let you know. On another note, the 2026-2027 budget development. We're developing a budget that anticipates the same amount of state aid as we received to support this year's. However, due to rising healthcare costs, which went up over $4 million, the district will have to use Cap Bank to balance our budget. And this will have an impact on our tax levy. So I just want you to understand that using Cap Bank is not the same as using capital reserve or maintenance reserve. Capital reserve and maintenance reserve, you have to have put away in order to pull it out. Cap Bank means that's an amount that you can increase your taxes by without having to go to the voters. We will be using Cap Bank. We will need it this year. This is the first time that I fear presenting the budget presentation next time, and I'm looking for one of those shields. Please don't shoot, Professor. Ms. Clement and I did go over building and department budgets using the October 15 enrollment counts, and we reviewed them with the principals. Certain needs came up, but because of budget constraints, I'm not sure if we're going to be able to address them. And as for federal grants, we're budgeting 75% of what we received in the current year. We won't find out our total allotment until later on. And then I want to thank everybody
here and in the audience on the board that has completed financial disclosure forms and submitted them. Time's not out for the rest of y'all and the rest of us.
So are you saying the ones that were submitted are pretty good?
Yes,
Good.
yes, you're through.
All right.
Okay. And for, like I said, for anybody else, if you haven't submitted them, please get them in. I just don't want to be chasing them down. If you need assistance, come see us. We have a couple board members that are going to come see us, and our meeting adjourned at 6:01 p.m. and we're rescheduled for Tuesday, March 24th, 2026.
Outstanding. Any questions for the Operations Committee at all? Thank you. Moving on to our illustrious Policy Committee. Ms. Claude, any new policies?
No, well, we don't have any new policies right now, but as Mr. Pease reported out 2 meetings ago, we did request an audit for our policies for our district. The results came back in and he reported out that we passed the audit. We do have a few policies that need to be updated or that were missing. And he also went back out to Strauss Esme and requested for those policies to come back to our district. Once they come back to our district, we will, the policy committee will go over the policies. We will present them to the board to make sure there's no changes or updates that need to be made to the new policies coming in. And then we will then do our first and second reading on them. In today's meeting, we discussed the Citizen Advisory Committee policy, which is 9140. We did not have any updates or any new recommendations to present to the board. We also discussed the volunteer athletic coaches and co-curriculum activities advisor and assistants, 9181. Again, we did no updates or any recommendations to present to the board. We discussed 9191, which is the Booster Club. We reviewed that policy. We had a discussion around it, and we have no updates or any recommendations for the Booster Club's policy. We are, Mr. Peace and Ms. Clement will be looking at our 9150 policy, which is our volunteer policy, and going through that policy to see if we can take any different appropriate actions regarding that policy for our district. Once the policies come back from Strauss Esme for all the policies that were annotated that needed to be updated, we will do them. Once we finish that, our school board policy will be all in total compliance and we will be updated for 2026. And that completes my meeting. Notes.
Any questions for the Policy Committee? Thank you, Ms. Claude. Thank you for your service. Going down to the Technology Committee, Mr. Clark, do we have anything coming out of the technology?
Yes, sir.
All right.
Technology Committee met March 2nd, 5:30 virtually. Myself, Mr. Matthews, Ms. Nieves, Mr. Pease. Main item discussed would have been the microphone and some of the sound issues in the middle school cafeteria as that pertained to our last meeting. And we got some feedback from the community that there were struggles interacting and hearing the meeting. And so we heard from Mr. Pease that some of those issues were a simple fix, but we also know that there are some more elaborate issues with the system there. And he had mentioned to us that the price point on upgrading was relatively large if we were to look to upgrade that sound system. And so the committee discussed the idea of, and we want to bring for a discussion with the board tonight as well, the possibility of switching our meeting location to the high school, as there is a higher quality sound system already there in that room. And the room we feel would provide a nice environment for the board meeting and for presentations and things like that. And so obviously this would save the board some money in that area, but would need to be something that is discussed by the board. So that is the suggestion of the Technology Committee, but we'd like to open it up for some thought and discussion from the board.
Do we want to discuss it now or do we want to discuss it under new business?
And I'd like to discuss it now.
Go ahead.
I think we should move. So if you want me to make a motion to move it to the high school, I will make a motion right now to move it to the high school because the sound in that cafeteria is horrible. Can't hear anything, and we need our people to be able to hear our meetings. It's not.
Need a second and then questions.
We got a motion on the floor right now to move our BOE meetings on the dates that's supposed to be in the middle school to the high school. We have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second, Matthews.
Second, Matthews. Any questions or comments?
Comments.
Go.
With regards to moving the meeting to the high school, there are those of us who do remember that we did try that at one time, and it wasn't very successful for several reasons. One, we had to make sure that we schedule with the principal, because certainly the high school is used a lot by the high school auditorium is used a lot by the high school. Number two, we had a problem with regards to being able to get to a room that was secluded, if I could use that word, enough for us to have our closed session. That was an issue. Number three, there were some people who were some people from the community who had made comments that, oh, the school board is sitting higher than the rest of us. So they're usually on the floor with us. And so that was an issue too. So I do recall that, and that was one of the several reasons why it was moved. And I think if you can recall also, Mr. Thomas, you were there too.
Absolutely.
That was those were the reasons why we did not continue in the high school auditorium.
Any more questions or comments?
Can I make a comment?
Sure.
Okay. So as a person who sat in the audience when they did have it at the high school, I found it to be really well. I didn't take an offense as a person who was in the community seeing the Board of Education sitting on the stage, because the way the auditorium is set up, that's the only place they can sit for everyone to be able to see them. I think that we can make some kind of arrangements with the school principal. I'm pretty sure it won't be something that we change overnight. It will be something that we will have to strategically plan to ensure that we have our board meetings not to conflict with anything that's going on at the high school, to make sure that we can make it happen, because it didn't have a conflict last year or the year that it did happen. But the sound system was better. You were able to hear the people on stage if they talk into their microphones. If you don't talk into your microphone, you can't hear. But if you talk into your microphone, you can hear. So I think that I think it would be a great move, because we've been having many complaints in regards to the middle school cafeteria and people not being able to hear what we're talking about because of the sound system inside there.
And just to add, the classroom concern, Ms. Pitts, I don't know the high school as well as some of my colleagues, but I know the band room is right off of the stage, and if necessary, the A hallway also has rooms that we could possibly use, which are not a far distance to do executive session. So those are possibilities if executive session needs to be done.
I'll make one comment. We had talked in our meeting, Ms. Pitts, you'd mentioned being elevated. Mr. Pease mentioned possibly the idea of sitting in the orchestra pit, so as to keep a level with those that are in the audience. That could be a potential option, obviously, as well. If that's something that you feel was a problem before, that may be a solution to avoid if we sit down where the orchestra goes.
I would like to make a comment. When you sit up high there, and we were sitting up there, you could not hear the people on the opposite end, and they were speaking into the microphones. So it was very hard to understand what they were saying. And I think it was really not a very good suggestion to have it at the high school.
Any other comments on the floor, or go right ahead?
As a suggestion, since we're considering going into the high school, and if we're gonna be on the stage, why not turn that into more of a U or a V, so that people can see each other and they can hear each other, as well as the community. Options.
Any more questions or comments?
I will say that especially when we have our student presentations, how nice would it be for them to be up on the stage and for everybody to actually hear them? The YouTube quality be great. And as we're seated right now, I can't see the people down on the, and Mr. Shaw. I can't see him during the meeting either, and sometimes I have to go like this too, so I'm okay with the move.
What'd she say?
Exactly.
You're Mr. Shaw, not you.
Okay.
All right. Any more questions or comments? I want everybody's questions or comments to be addressed. Anyone else?
I personally think if we're gonna go do the high school, I think we should be sitting in the orchestra pit. And that way it leaves us open for the presentations to be done on the stage.
Okay, so we have a motion on the floor to move the meeting. And of course, if whether it's passed or denied, we can also alter and suggest options to whatever is there. So we have a motion on the floor to move and a second. I need to get a roll call vote. Ms. Boyle?
Mr. Clark,
Yes.
Ms. Dredden,
No.
Ms. Lloyd,
Yes.
Ms. Martin,
Yes.
Mr. Matthews,
Yes.
Ms. Nieves,
Yes.
Mr. Shaw,
Yes.
Ms. Pitts,
No.
and Mr. Thomas.
Yes.
The motion carries.
All right, so we'll. Mr. Peters?
And to also add to that, I was told that another concern was parking for our board members. We would have to work with Mr. Morella and maybe Ms. Pinnock's team to reserve spaces around the horseshoe to make sure that all of our board members have parking there. And any other concerns that may pop up, we would address and make sure that we accommodate our board properly.
Mr. Pease,
Yes.
there's parking behind the auditorium that we can use.
Okay.
So we have that option as well.
All right, so look like that motion is passed. We're going on to the Economic Development Council meeting. Ms. Dredden, anything from the Economic Development Council?
Not at this time unless you have something to say. That's right.
No, nothing at this time. Mr. Matthews, how about that Drug Alliance, Municipal Drug Alliance, anything?
Not at this time, but I should have a report for our next meeting.
I would like to add to the Drug Alliance report, speaking with the mayor through her office and the Drug Alliance Department supported our high school HSA by giving our high school seniors $7,000 to support their project graduation. And I just want to say thank you publicly to Mayor Lawrence and the Municipal Alliance for their support of our young people for a very needed and special activity to keep our young people safe during these celebratory times.
Thank you. Thank you. Sit down. Now we're going to the planning board. Mr. Shaw, anything from the planning board?
So from our February meetings that we had, there wasn't much that really happened other than some housing subdivisions. Moving into our March meetings, I haven't seen my agenda yet for the planning board, but at our next board meeting, I will bring back the events of the planning board that have come up.
Thanks again, Mr. Shaw. Really appreciate it. Now we got our new adopted school board member representative report. Does anybody have a report for their school that they represent tonight?
Yes, I do, Mr. President. I last week I was able to, as you know, I'm assigned to the early educational center.
And in a fine building it is.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. And I was able to sit with a classroom full of 15 3-year-olds and 4-year-olds. And it was just delightful. I survived. I actually survived. They were full of hugs. They like to hug. They were like little they were just jumping all around, and they asked me if I wanted to participate. I said, not at this time. And then we had questions back and forth, what month were you born and how old are you? And when we came to, well, Miss Spitz, how old are you? One of the kids said 100. But it was that they had just had something the week before about but I'm just saying that it was great. I absolutely enjoyed it, and I was invited to come back.
All right. Thank you. Any questions? Anyone else from a report from their school?
Well, I would like to re-report again on School 3.
Go for it.
Because I'm a big cheerleader at School 3. When I took my tour around the school with Miss Floyd, and she was taking me to all the teachers inside the school, I felt so great because their morale, the teachers, they are so excited to teach those children in School 3. And those children were so excited and they were so well behaved. Not that I don't expect them not to be well behaved, but it was so contained and so great. And then the walls with the different pictures on the walls, it was a joy to walk in that school. But just being able to walk into an atmosphere of our educators, and they're happy to be there to educate our children. It says a lot for what's going on in our school district. And to be a proud adopter of School 3, I think School 3 is the #1 lower elementary school. Anybody want to challenge me?
Yeah, school coming.
Anyone else?
Mr. President, Mr. Law reminded me with regards to the early childhood, I would be remiss if I did not give kudos to the teacher. Her name was Miss Sullivan, and to her assistant. She had total management of the little ones. She would give an instruction, and they followed it. And also, again, the building itself was spotless. I mean, with that many 3-year-olds and 4-year-olds. But I just had to give kudos to Ms. Sullivan and to her assistant.
Absolutely love it. Anyone else?
I had School 5.
Go School 5. Let's see what you got.
All right, so February, we had our infamous candy bar bingo. I was very fortunate that I did not have to serve the food. Shout out to the Leo Club who came down. They were handling food service. They were handing out the candy when people yelled bingo. It was a phenomenal job by our high school team. Shout out to the assistant principal, Miss Lee. Her son was the number caller. He did an amazing job there. I just sold raffle tickets, so I got to stay nice and clean. So that was fun. Let's see what else. March, right now, School 5 is doing their readathon as a fundraiser, so the students can set up their own little page, share it with family, friends, put it on social media. They love their minutes read, and they always do a really good job with that as well. I will say, if you're interested in School 5's HSA, they do have a newsletter on the website in the digital backpack. Please go to School 5's digital backpack because they even have a family resource section. There's different things on there. Everything's digital. I know my 5th grader no longer brings home papers. So when I want to know what is going on in the school, I have to go to the digital backpack. And another plug for the HSA of School 5, their HSA team is graduating from School 5, so they need new help at School 5 to have these amazing candy bar bingo events. It pays for things like the buses to go to their tall pine trips, the field day snacks that they get, t-shirts. I mean, I can't plug them enough. Another plug for 2 other schools, because I also went to the Early Childhood Education Center to read to my son's class. Those teachers there, like I said, they are phenomenal. My son is an entirely different child when he is at school. He actually sits down and folds his hands and does all those things that I cannot get him to do at home. So kudos to Miss Nelson and her class. And it's a spotless school. It's gorgeous. I was also at the high school this week as a parent. They had their NJ SLA, NJ GPA presentation. Mr. Morella was there. All of his administrators were there. They did a phenomenal job because the test is actually changing this year. As a parent, I wasn't even aware of what those changes were. So now it's adaptive. So we'll kind of go along with, kind of like with our iReady, how the students answer depends on how many questions they're going to get, the level of difficulty. Hopefully that helps with some of the scoring issues we've had as well. The high school did a field test for that in the fall. Unfortunately, we don't get those results, so we don't know how it's going to work out, but they've done all the testing. We have the infrastructure for that. Got to plug Chicago again as well. Mr. Morella also gave an update on their annual school planning system update and some of the grants. They get a big grant to work on that. Their 4 goals there are ELA, math, SEL, and graduation rates. They are well above target for all 4 areas, like significantly. It was very impressive. And they've had a 17% reduction in Tier 3 behavioral referrals. So kudos to Mr. Morella as well. I told him I would give him a shout out. I did
Morella.
so. And that concludes my school report.
Absolutely outstanding. Love to hear it. But here comes the fabulous School 4 in North County. Has been dedicated to enhancing student learning through careful analysis of diagnostic results. In our recent round of data team meetings, teachers for the grades K through 3 convened for a series of 3 collaborative sessions. The outcome of these discussions is a thoughtfully crafted instructional plan designed to be implemented daily during our response, intervention, and initiative. In February, our community rallied around for Jump Rope for Heart, a heartwarming initiative led by our physical education teacher, Ms. Sefarali, She orchestrated a lively family fun night on Thursday, February 26th, inviting first grade students and their families to join in the festival. Our dedicated teachers and staff also took part in a spirited walking challenge, and a month-long event raised nearly $4,000 for the American Heart Association. The highlight of the evening was an impressive performance by selected third grade students who showcased their remarkable jump rope talent. Captivating photos from this memorable event can be found, and I'll send the link. During Red Cross America Week, our students and teachers embraced literacy with enthusiasm, participated in themed dress-up days, and enjoying the excitement of our book fair. The Family Night Book Fair held on Thursday, March 5th was a resounding success, with many families joining us to celebrate the joy of reading. A day of joy and International Happiness Day, Friday, March 20th is planned. This much anticipated surprise for a student has become one of our highlights for the year of School 4. So kudos to Miss Lori Kelly in School 4 over there. Any other reports? All right, moving right along to the superintendent report. On the top of page 3, I'm looking for a motion to approve the superintendent's report. It's on the top of page 3 and goes all the way to the middle of page, or the top of page 8. Can I get a motion?
I move to approve the superintendent's recommendations for the following, beginning on page 3, going through to the top of page 8.
Second, Matthews.
We have a motion and a second. Any comments, any questions? Roll call.
Mr. Clark,
Yes.
Ms. Dredden,
Yes.
Ms. Claude,
Yes.
Ms. Martin,
Yes.
Mr. Matthews,
Yes.
Ms. Nieves,
Yes.
Mr. Shaw,
Yes.
Ms. Pitts,
Yes.
and Mr. Thomas.
Yes.
The motion has carried.
All right, we're going down to the business administrator report in the middle of page 8 and going all the way to the top or the bottom of page 12. Can I get a motion?
Yes. I move to approve the administration board secretary recommendations beginning on the bottom of page 8 and ending at the top of page 13.
Good catch there, Ms. Martin. Thank you.
Second, Matthews.
Any questions? Roll call.
Mr. Clark,
Yes.
Ms. Dredden,
Yes.
Ms. Claude,
Yes.
Ms. Martin,
Yes.
Mr. Matthews,
Yes.
Ms. Nieves,
Yes.
Mr. Shaw.
Yes, but abstain on letter B, number 6A, J 727, PO number 603559, and M730, PO number 603992.
Thank you. Ms. Pitts
Yes.
and Mr. Thomas.
Yes.
The motion has carried.
Thank you. Page 14 at the top. We're going from page 14 at the top and going over to page 15 to the middle. Can I get a motion?
Motion to approve the superintendent's recommendations for personnel actions beginning on page 14 and continuing over to the middle of page 15.
Second, Matthews.
Any questions? Roll call.
Mr. Clark,
Yes.
Ms. Dredden,
Yes.
Ms. Claude,
Yes.
Ms. Martin,
Yes.
Mr. Matthews,
Yes.
Ms. Nieves,
Yes.
Mr. Shaw,
Yes.
Ms. Pitts,
Yes.
and Mr. Thomas.
Yes.
The motion has carried.
All right. Looks like is there any addendums? No addendums?
No, Ms. Claude is here, so we won't take one.
But we got one last time, right?
All right, well now, anything from the open public's, Oprah request?
Yes, Mr. President, we received a request from Robert Miller of Disc Writer. He wanted information pertaining to RFP 2026, which was staffing services that came in on January 6, 26. He wanted the name of the bidders in response to the RFP, the bid evaluation sheet, the price quoted by each bidder, and a copy of the proposal submitted. That was supplied. We received another request from Deltec. They wanted an electronic copy of specifications or any other documents associated with the project. The project title was Solid Waste and Recyclables 2026-2030. 2. Posting date was February 17th, 2026. We could not respond to that because that was not our bid. I believe they were looking for the township. We received the third request from Jeffrey Lee from Smart Procure. He wanted purchasing records from October 31st, 2025 to present. He didn't want us to copy anything, just scan and print. Those documents were supplied. Deltec, we received another request. They wanted an electronic copy of the specifications or any other documents associated with our project, which was bid number 2026-12 for network equipment software. And we submitted that as well.
Thank you so much. Any informational items tonight, there, Mr. B?
Yes, I want to start with a quote. While I relish the warm months, winter forms our character and brings out our best. Tom Allen. So I know it's been a difficult winter, and I encourage my teams to continue to work hard, stay focused, and give their all to finish out this year strong. The winter has beat us up a little bit, and the first taste of some warm days, which we've received, you know, can kind of let us get loose a little bit. So we just want to make sure we stay tight, finish strong. Preschool registration flyer. I just want to make sure I get this out. The preschool registration process is open. There are 5 easy steps. 1, you go to your Early Childhood Education Center's website. 2, go to the Parent tab. 3, select student registration. 4, complete the 2026-27 online pre-registration. Call the Early Childhood Education Center to schedule an appointment for the week of March 23rd to March 27th between the hours of 9 a.m. to 2:45 p.m. to complete the registration process. And the process is not complete until you have all of your paperwork in. And you can find that information on the website. Also like to share that I am in communication with the mayor to arrange an education committee meeting to take place sometime in the next coming weeks with our education committee. So once we have those dates, I'll make sure that is shared with our committee and we can have that meeting with the mayor's education committee. Also, I have been in communication with the mayor's office in regard to our 4th of July celebration, which will take place on July 3rd. They are looking to use our parking facilities, and they are preparing their paperwork to submit. And once we have that, we will have that on the agenda for approval. We are looking forward to assisting in celebrating our country's 250th birthday, and anything that we can do to help out, we are there for the township. Also, like to share that we had a meeting with Chiselhurst, and in attendance was myself, Ms. Clement, Ms. Boyle, Ms. Ortiz, board president, and the BA, Beth Ann Coleman, and their vice president. Unfortunately, I don't have his name in front of me. We discussed finances, and we discussed, you know, some of the hardships that that district may be facing and how it impacts us. So, not to get into a lot of the details, they're in a tough situation, and we had some frank conversations about, you know, that building that we are renting, and you know how the future may look for our relationship with Chiselhurst and how to support that relationship. So there will be conversations with our board and their leadership to determine our future steps with that program over there. Also, I met with, had a meeting, and it was with a former student of Winslow Township High School. And this young person is a graduate, not sure when they graduated, probably 2 or 3 years ago. And this young person is a junior at Princeton University. And she reached out to us to do some research on our title programs. And me and my group, we were blown away by the work that this young lady is doing and how she is representing Winslow Township School District on a high level. And her name is Najatine Saunders. Her mother is a teacher over at School 6. And this young lady is doing amazing work on a high level.
What
And
university is she going to again?
Princeton
Oh,
University.
I didn't hear that.
So I worked out a deal with this young lady to come back and speak to our young people and let them know that we can sit at the table at Princeton and any of those Ivy League schools. And it's important that she comes and represents Winslow and share with our young people that she is there and doing a phenomenal job. And like I said, like the track team, I get to receive all these blessings and relish in the victories. And that was a victory right there that I was so proud to be a part of. And the fact that she called us to talk to us and she wants to share her work. She wants to share her grade on her project with us. So I said, come on back. And I was very proud to have that conversation with her. So highlight of my day. Also, because of the weather, we have some makeup days to make up. So on this agenda, you'll see us approving a new calendar. I try my best to save spring break, but Mother Nature has something else in store. So March 8th, April 8th. Why I keep saying March, Ms. Clement?
Because we will be done.
Yeah, wishful thinking. But April 8th, 9th, and 10th, we will be in school on full days. Also, like Ms. Boyle has mentioned, this is budget season, and we are eagerly waiting for our state aid numbers to come in. And once those numbers come in, Ms. Boyle and I will really get to work on finalizing our budget and preparing our presentation to all of you. As we get closer to the end of the year, you know, vacancies is always a common theme, and we have 39 vacancies that we are looking to fill for next year, and that number may grow. I also want to make sure that our principals are doing their due diligence and, you know, just finishing up our evaluation on all of our staff, and also make sure that we have the best staff in place when we're dealing with our young people. But going back to preschool, I missed a little bit of information and my team just alerted me. That registration is not just only for our 3-year-olds, it is for our 4-year-olds and kindergarten. So there are some steps that they must follow as well to register. So we want to make sure all of our students are registered and not wait until the last minute so we can build our class rosters so that we know what's coming into the district. So please go to the website to get that information started if you have those age groups in your homes. All right, and we have some conversations that will take place with our special ed. Special ed is always a concern for us, and we want to make sure that we are paying attention to that area. And that concludes my report. Before I go, we have a few more.
You know I'm gonna go gavel.
Few more. So the HSA and PTOs, I have a list of all of the contacts there, and I want to make sure that there's some communication between all those groups. So I'm going to initiate some conversation with those individuals to come in and kind of talk to us, and also provide some expectations on what our HSAs and PTAs should be doing. So those are important groups, and it's important that we make sure that they are working in conjunction to our goals and our objectives for each year. Mr. President, that concludes my report tonight.
Absolutely phenomenal. Very, very appreciative of your service there, Mr. Keith. Outstanding. Just another informational item I want to give to our board and our stakeholders. On April 15th, Dr. Bandel will be coming in to discuss a 5-year strategic plan. If you're not doing anything, you want to be a part of that whole discussion on how this school is going for the next 5 years, we will be doing a 5-year strategic plan on that. And he also mentioned a collaborative meeting that we're trying to set up with the township. I will be asking each committee and make a recommendation from their committee to be a part of that body that goes in collaboratory meeting with the township. Moving on to old business, will they bring any, go ahead. Ms. Parker.
I have a question from Mr. Pease on the
Go ahead.
informational items. Is there a way, I know it might be asking a lot, for this preschool, that you send out a robocall? Because of for the people who just don't go on the website.
Sure.
Because I noticed that you've been posting it on our websites, and just to make sure that we have no one that comes back and say, oh, I missed the deadline, my kid can't go. If you can send out a robocall now, we've covered every avenue of communication to pass the information out to get them registered.
Not a problem.
Thank you so much.
Outstanding. Old business, will there be any old business?
Good, Mr.
Go
We
ahead.
also directly emailed all of the folks who put any information on our interest forms. So we all got direct emails for the information.
Perfect, thank you.
Anyone else?
So the only thing I have in old business, the Academic and Arts Hall of Fame, we are having our first meeting virtually, March 23rd at 6 p.m. So if anybody needs the registration link for that Zoom, please reach out to me. We've got about 13 interested participants to help get that together. I do not want to run that. So as many people that can come out as possible, I would greatly appreciate that so that we can spread the load of work there.
Thanks again, very appreciative. Anyone else in the old business? Moving on to new business, will there be anything in new business? Please, anything? Anyone else? Moving right along to public comments. Mr. Long, will you take over from there?
Thank you, sir. The Winslow Township Board of Education highly values the input of citizens in making the important decisions that affect the children of our community. We believe in the rights of citizens to observe board meetings. To ensure that all of our citizens have the opportunity to attend school board meetings and offer comment, and to ensure that the board can conduct the important business of the district, we'd ask that speakers follow the guidelines for making public comment. The board secretary will recognize those individuals in the audience who wish to make comment. We'd ask that you kindly respect the following procedures. 1, all members of the public attending school board meetings must treat each other and the board with respect. 2, please state your full name and only your town of residence. 3, please limit your comments to 4 minutes. 4, in the event we're unable to answer your question, please submit your name, address, email address, and telephone number where you can be contacted, and we will be back to you within a reasonable period of time and provide you an answer. Lastly, individuals offering citizen comment are not permitted to make personal attacks on any district employee, board member, or other testifier, or any member of the public. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. I'm looking for a motion to move into public comments.
Motion to move into public comment.
Second.
I got a motion in the second. Voice vote? All in favor?
Aye.
Public comments.
We'd like to recognize Tiffany Bates.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. I am a product of Winslow Township. And, good evening, members of the Board of Education. Oh, yeah, my name is Tiffany Bates. My town is Winslow. Good evening, members of the Board of Education and dignitaries. My name is Tiffany Bates. I serve as the Secretary of the Rotary Club of Winslow Township. Thank you for allowing me a few moments this evening. On behalf of the Rotary Club of Winslow Township, I would like to briefly introduce our organization and the work we do in support of our community. Rotary is dedicated to service, leadership, and investing in the future of our youth. Rotary is a local and global network of businesses, professional, and community leaders who volunteer their time and talent to serve communities, both locally and globally around the world. Our members are committed to addressing real challenges and creating meaningful changes through service and leadership. This evening, we are pleased to announce that the Rotary Club of Winslow Township is handing out a scholarship application, which is now available. This opportunity is open to all upcoming graduating students who live in Winslow Township. So some of the things that we have done in the Rotary Club is bingo with senior citizens, designer bingo, Ryla, which is coming up in June. I think is the month, June 24th through the 28th, I think. I have to get back to you with that. And we do have a mentoring program as well. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Carolyn Bates, Winslow Township. I'd like to make a few comments about our mentoring program. This is scholarship. We have a mentoring program that we're going to try to revive. We had it before COVID, but during COVID, it was, we actually had to stop it. With our mentoring program, we actually take students during the summer months and we introduce them to various professions. We are a professional organization and we have many different professionals in our organization. And we pair students with whatever profession they would like to investigate. That's some of the things we do with our professionals in the club. Then during the summer, what we have done in the past, we haven't done it since COVID, but we're going to start it up again. What we've done, we've taken kids, we take them to baseball games, we take them to college tours. We've sent kids to summer camp here in Winslow Township. And we've given kids tutoring sessions during the school year. I see you do have tutoring within the school, but we've tutored kids who maybe were too shy, or we hired individuals from Rowan University to tutor kids in math. That's the subject we chose. But these are some of the things we do with our tutoring, with our mentoring program. And we will come before you again soon with the qualifications for our mentoring program. And we mentor the students from grades 9 through 12. We usually choose about 2 students per year and advance that the following year. And we invest in these students and show them what types of people they can become, because we introduce them to various professions that we in the club ourselves are. And we take them to different colleges and even to different sites where they can become involved and see what these professions are like. So we'll come before you again with these, our mentoring program. But right now, this is our scholarship program for this year. And hopefully we can get at least 3 or 4 students to write out a 250 to 500 word composition. And that's how we determine who gets the scholarships. Thank you very much.
Thank you. And we'll make sure we get this to the building principal and counseling department.
Okay, thank you very much.
Jacqueline Lee.
I didn't sign up.
She just signed it.
But you did?
Oh, no.
Not to
I
speak?
thought that was the signature.
You're here.
Okay.
Miss McClendon?
Abina McClendon, 60 Pedro Lane. First, I want to say good evening to the board members, Mr. Pease. I want to say that I love first what you guys are doing with social media, with exposing the school. It warms my heart when I see it because, you know, marketing, as a previous board member, I was marketing chair and we were just beginning to try to get our social media page running so that we can show all the accolades and the good things that are happening in our school. And seeing what it has transposed to this day. I'm very excited to see what's going on because it shows the spotlight on Winslow to change, some of the negative aspects that we get from community sometimes about what Winslow is and what Winslow is not. And so I just wanted to shout out kudos to you for that. So great job, Mr. Pease, under your leadership coming in.
Thank you.
I definitely see a lot of good changes and a lot of good things happening in our school system. So the reason why I'm up here is, as one of the board members for the Village of Camden County, two of my board members are here, Ms. Claude and our CEO, Mr. Watkins. I want to talk about our prom sponsorship. And so we still have that going on. So for those of you who do not know what the prom sponsorship is, we sponsor each year students from Winslow High School that are going to the prom, that want to go to the prom. So these students are those who are in need, who want to have a good prom, but mostly whose families are in a financial hardship. So with this prom sponsor, we do everything from the ticket to clothing to hair to nails to a beautiful send-off. And we use this to make sure that that young man and young girl have a phenomenal time at the prom. So what I'm asking is that we're still taking donations. You may have seen our flyers out on social media. We are still looking for donations to sponsor a student. This year we are doing 3 young ladies and 4 young men. This is our 3rd year doing it, so it is very near and dear to us when we do the sponsorship because we bless a family. And at the end of the day, we want to make sure that a child that wants to attend the prom, but financially the family can't afford it, we want to step in and be that blessing to them. So if you would like to donate, you can see me. I do have our Zeppi QR code. If you would like to donate, we're also still, if you have prom dresses, if your young people have graduated now and it's a closet full of prom dresses, we would love to take that off your hands. Also, if there's any suit jackets, because again, like I said, we do like to make sure we can accommodate, to make sure we have enough clothing in different varieties for our young people to choose from. So just wanted to come up and talk to you more about our prom sponsorship. And so again, if you are interested, you can see me. I'll be here till after the meeting. And if anybody else on the board would like to sponsor anybody, please see Ms. Gloria, who is one of our board members for the Village of Camden County. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you. Thank you.
Mr. Russell Bates?
Uh-oh.
I probably don't need this mic because I've been a track coach for so many years. I feel the pain that some of you, I don't hear very well. And I'm not hard of hearing, but you talk so eloquent and soft, it's tough. And now I think I spoke to somebody last year about the way it's set up, that you can make that a U or a V. Then a lot of you are squinching your eyes and trying to figure out what this person is saying if you don't speak loud enough. But I think you're on the right path at trying to get a new system. First of all, I'd like to congratulate the women. This is Women's Month. This is Women's Month. And always have a lot of women in my home. Don't start yet. And I know my place, Mr. Peace. Anyway, of course, that down. Got some more Rotary members here. I'd like to let them say, but they do. We've probably raised in the last 200 years about 200,000.
Stand up, Rotary.
And so make sure that you.
Can we get the names of the Rotary members?
Yes.
Bernard Woods, product of Winslow Township.
Right. All right.
That's all right.
Wanda Randolph, product of Lyndon Wall Overbrook High School.
Oh.
We have one more.
Joe Thomas, President of Winslow Township School Board.
Product of what?
Product Edgewood, 1983.
Can't tell. But anyway, thank you very much, and a very nice meeting and a lot of information.
Thank you.
Miss Abby Murphy?
Take your time.
I'm working on running. It's one of my goals. No, I'm teasing. Hello, good evening. Abby Murphy from Secludeville. I feel like I should start with my school's better than your school, and here's why. One thing, Joe, you did forget about School 4. Those teachers and support aides won the basketball tournament last week.
Let's get them a round of
Just
applause.
calling it out, right? Anyway, really what I wanted to bring to the board and to also our stakeholders, we spent a lot of time, as Albina mentioned, focused on promoting and being very conscious of our positive impact and what our schools are doing. And I think one of the biggest accomplishments that I've seen so far right now is that as of starting tomorrow, we're going to have an information session, but the high school and Rowan University have partnered to offer an associate's degree to our students at the high school by taking classes at a reduced rate. I think something about $75 a credit. So those of you who are in college go, and $75 a credit, geez, pick me. Anyway, and this can start, according to Mr. Dawkins, could start as early as a freshman.
Oh.
Yes. Is what he had mentioned. So this is something I have, like my niece did it as in Salem County, as a junior and a senior. This is on top of I don't even know how many AP classes we offer, how many dual credit classes that the high school offers. I think it's important to market those things because, you mentioned about budgets and our students, we start to lose, I don't mean lose in that way, people choose to choice for all of the lots of reasons. But one of the things we have to keep in mind is how academically strong our high school and middle school are. And this is something we should be shouting. We should be big celebration balloons. I don't know, but it's an amazing opportunity that we're offering students. So just wanted to kind of put that out to our stakeholders and make sure everyone's very well aware. There is an information session on tomorrow. I think it's 6:30, virtually. So that information is also in the digital backpack on the high school website and also on the middle school website. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Murphy.
Just want to add to that, Ms. Clement, early in the year, sat down with Rowan Pathways to bring that program to the high school this year. Our dual credit programs at Winslow Township High School are phenomenal. And, it's something that we encourage all of our students to take advantage of while they're in high schools to lighten the financial burden of college, while they can in Winslow. So we're excited about that program and we will continue to promote it and get more students involved. So we're excited about it.
Let's get that round of applause. Anyone else?
Yes.
Go ahead.
We have one more for public comment. Can I say the name?
You can say it.
It's Miss Lakeisha J. Bloom.
Hey, J. Bloom.
And Mr. Pease is going to read her comment.
So this is our write-in. Maybe it's an oversight, so I won't crash out, as the kids would say, but I want to paint a picture from a parent standpoint. So we have an understanding. I have two sons that graduated from Winslow, class of 2023, and this past year, class of 2025. Both got good grades and was a part of the track program. My oldest was on the team that got the title All-American running hurdles in Boston at Nationals. He graduated top 15%. He is in college going for his bachelor's degree. My other son is currently in college at Fairleigh Dickinson on a track scholarship. When I would show up at the track meets, I would purchase those 60 I would purchase those 60, sometimes $80 apparels. He's 6'3", and most of the time he's wearing something to represent track, even when it was what I would call high water or crawling up his arms, because how much he grew. I guess he liked those hoodies and pants. He would wear that shirt or jacket with pride when we would go places. He would get stopped and asked, "What did you do? How did you get that?" He would start talking about the Winslow track team. Most adults would ask about him, about his grades, and he would proudly say he is an honor roll student. I'm currently in the car driving to Boston with my daughter that is a freshman at Winslow. She will be running at nationals tomorrow. I am requesting that the school find funds to cover the expense for the jackets for when my son graduated in 2025 for both boys and girls teams. Cost should not be a factor when it comes to buying apparel for these students, because it is not only recognition for what they have accomplished, it's publicly displaying their school and a conversation starter. We must have fair treatment across all sports. I say all of this because if the football team can get jackets and rings for their accomplishments, so can the esteemed track team.
Amen.
They work just as hard and bring just as much recognition. I appreciate your attention to this very important matter, and I hope this was an oversight and I have provided you insight from a parent standpoint. If it wasn't an oversight, please rally the community to right this wrong, to raise the funds needed to purchase those jackets. I do not mind being the point of contact. Please contact me with your proposed resolution. In closing, pray for traveling mercies for the Winslow track team and let the students know how very proud you are of them for making it to nationals. Have a blessed night. Sincerely, Lakeisha Ajebu. So just to respond, Ms. Boyle and I have been working on that, and unfortunately I wasn't here for those victories. I know we have some victories this year that we need to celebrate, and that is in discussion that we're continuing to have to make sure that this is resolved as quick as possible. So it is not something that we haven't forgotten about. We will make sure that we do right by our athletes and the policy that we follow to support our champions.
Go ahead, Ms. Paul, what you got?
I forgot to say during informational items, this weekend, Saturday at the Bud Dugal Center, from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m., the Rubies and Pearls will be holding the Black Wall Street. The young girls have they're putting together displays of all the Tulsa, Oklahoma Black Wall Street businesses that were destroyed. And I hope that you all can come out. There's going to be great food there. There's going to be great conversation there. Come out and support the Rubies and Pearls girls and their initiative to represent Black Wall Street this Saturday at the Bud Dugal Center, which is right across the street from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. And that's it. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else? Anyone else? Public comments? Anyone else in the audience got anything they want to say? All right, I'm looking for a motion to adjourn public comment.
Motion to adjourn public comments.
Second. Got a motion to second. Roll call. Voice vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Is there a second?
There is an executive session, Mr. President, if I may frame it. In accordance with the requirements of the Open Public Meetings Act, we will be adjourning into executive session on March 11th, 2026 at 8:45 p.m. Of the 9 exceptions that we will be entering into executive session, one is with respect to item 8, matters involving employment, as well as matters involving the attorney-client privilege. I would expect that we'll be in executive session for 30 to 40 minutes.
All right, I'm looking for a motion to move into executive session.
Motion to move into executive session.
Second. Roll call.
Mr. Clark,
Yes.
Ms. Drayton,
Yes.
Ms. Floyd,
Yes.
Ms. Martin?
Yes.
Mr. Matthews?
Yes.
Ms. Nieves? Yes. Mr. Shaw?
Yes.
Ms. Pitts?
Yes.
And Mr. Thomas?
Yes,
The motion has carried.
thank you. Executive session.